Let's get it on.
There's his famous let's get it on. The winner to take on Sever.
This will be a chess match. It'll be interesting to see. Oleg sometimes will go toe-to-toe, even with the likes of Tank Abbott. And at the same time, Marco Ruas has some good boxing skills, but I believe their strengths lie in their ground attacks, and I think that's eventually where this fight will end up.
Well, I don't think the Bear better stay on his feet, because I don't think he can match Ruas's striking techniques, boxing or kicking.
Once again, the two fighters circling, looking for an opportunity, feeling out process. Kick by Ruas, momentarily Taktarov shot a leg.
Oh, a little bit of a Marco not shaking his head, saying, no way, not going to take me down. Nice double leg attempt there. But certainly faking the shoot and then coming up top with strikes. Great tactic, mixing levels. We do that in wrestling all the time. Change levels to unbalance your opponent, create openings, and certainly, Don, hitting from different levels will open that up as well.
Right, you know, one thing I like about these two fighters is this is the first time I've seen some feinting going on. These guys are feinting each other to get them off guard. They're not just going all out with a technique.
A kick by Ruas.
It's certainly not a wild brawl by any means. These two are calculated.
It's a chess match.
Two of the best tacticians in the UFC. There's the kick from Ruas. One of his effective blows.
Well, Oleg was looking to grab it. He does want to bring it down to the ground.
Right, I can see some damage on Oleg's left leg already from that roundhouse kick. Ruas is the only one that really can throw a decent roundhouse kick to the leg. And that's not a safe bet, because it can go to the head just as easily. While you're reaching down there to grab it, it can go right to the back of the head. These are Thai boxing techniques.
Seems Oleg's trying to crowd him up near the fence, keeping his back to the center of the octagon. There it is. You see, he's tired of chasing him.
Right. That's the mistake, if you remember, Varlin's made against Ruas. And that front leg, if you look, there's discoloration already on Oleg's left leg.
2 minutes, 15 seconds in. And Oleg looks like he messed up his brace there momentarily. Reset that right knee brace. No braces are allowed, just those neoprene sleeves.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going. Come on.
Oleg coming in, gets Ruas up against the back of the fence.
Now it'll be close-in fighting. Elbows, knees, headbutts.
And possibly foot stomps. Remember, Ruas has those size 13 feet, and he used those foot stomps in the last UFC.
Come on, let's work. Come on, Oleg.
Here's the chess match. Little side shot there to the head by Taktarov.
Right, they both know to stay very tight on each other to keep those strikes from being effective.
There's the foot stomping. Oleg looking down, trying to see where his feet are now. We saw this in UFC 7.
Yep, he got his attention, it hurt.
And there's a cut now over Taktarov's right eye.
And it's just it's around the bridge of the nose, closer to the right eye, and Ruas lands a left, and it got the spot. And that means more blood. And Oleg has been cut before, and you know, cuts tend to open more frequently.
He went for the leg. He went for Ruas's leg.
Ruas knows this. Ruas knows all about this. The key will be now the better ground attack specialist. Valet Tudo against Sambo.
Come on, work it, work it.
A classic matchup of grappling skills.
Taktarov is cut. And that blood will start to stream a little bit.
I would give the advantage here to Ruas simply because he is in the mounted position, and I don't think Taktarov on his back against a person well-versed in ground attack will be as effective.
Chopping shots to the midsection by Ruas.
Well, he's not just more versed, he's more experienced, he's stronger. I mean, Ruas has definitely got the advantage here.
Taktarov gets to his feet.
Magnificent, absolutely magnificent. Using the fence to bring himself up, he took punishment to get to his feet.
That's something Tank was not able to do in 15 minutes.
Taktarov took 2 shots to the belly, accepted it, grabbed the fence, and pulled himself up, and now they're in a restart position.
Here we go. Come on, let's go.
Marco wants Taktarov to follow him. Marco is not going to chase him. Look at him. He's circling. Neither fighter is taking a step forward now.
Marco's
Interesting
breathing a little
strategy.
heavily.
He seemed to breathe hard at UFC 7 as well.
Now see, this shows the inexperience of dealing with the leg kick. All he needs to do is lift his knee up on the inside of Marco's leg, and he can actually do damage to Marco if he tries that leg kick. But Oleg is a grappler. He's not experienced at blocking that Thai leg kick.
And there was a question, that rumor, was his knee okay? We have seen no problem with his mobility.
Let's get it going.
Must have just been that what I said it was, a rumor.
Another kick by Ruas. In this, the white knuckle event of bare knuckle competition, the ultimate. The winner guaranteed $25,000. The winner tonight gets $150,000.
That was very ineffective strike because
slap.
he's right. When you hit with the foot, it does no damage to the thigh. You've got to hit with the shin.
Ruas again, effective double leg counter. Taktarov trying to shoot. Ruas with the sprawl.
Ruas is content to stay on the feet.
Oleg missed.
He knows he's a better striker. He knows he will take that leg out eventually.
Get working.
And Oleg is waiting for it now.
Oh! Oleg landed a thunderous left. And another right. Ruas checked his mouthpiece and got nailed.
And this is Taktarov's favorite position, is the choke.
He's got him, and it could be a tap out pretty soon.
Taktarov working the choke.
Ruas experienced.
Look at how calm Ruas is.
Right.
He's not thrashing, which only sinks the choke tighter. Eventually, Taktarov's hold will be broken. He's going to get tired. That's a lot of arm power.
A lot of energy being expended to keep this lock on.
The mature
great effort.
Ruas just trying to be calm.
That's exactly what you have to be. They say take your time. And they said he had a neck of rubber. They said you can put him in a chokehold and it doesn't go. But obviously Taktarov is a master choker. But it seems Ruas here is able to solve that. See how he's twisting the wrist, creating that gap. You can see a little bit of dark space near his chin. That's enough room for him to breathe.
Jeff, if you pull away, you only intensify the choke.
Exactly. You want to drive towards the head. Keep your body low. The more you raise yourself up, the more angle he has to sink that choke in.
10 minutes plus to go in this 18-minute round.
And unlike wrestling, Ruas can attack a finger. He can rip on one finger to go ahead and break the lock.
And there's the toes being used by Marco Ruas. Those are size 13 feet. And instead of stomping, he's using it as an ally.
That
here.
is Taktarov's foot on the fence. And he is using it trying to keep his balance, keep Marco Ruas from being able to go ahead and improve his position. But they've moved away from the fence now, but Taktarov relentless with that choke.
I think he's going to have to release that. I don't think he's going to be able to hang on. Even no matter how much endurance he has, he can't keep it indefinitely.
That is correct, and there he broke the lock. But he still has that arm sunk in there. What he's trying to get Ruas to do is to move, to try to improve his position, and he'll bring that right arm right back in there to try to sink the choke even more.
Got a warning, that's due.
9 minutes, 15 seconds left. Marco Ruas, Oleg Taktarov. Taktarov trying to win the choke, and now referee John McCarthy will restart the action. He has the prerogative to do that.
Bad break for Oleg. Bad break for Oleg.
And now he wants the doctor, referee John McCarthy wants Dr. Richard Istrigo, the medical advisor, to take a look at the cut.
Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad.
Well, the bad break for me was when they forced Oleg to release that hold. I mean, you know, I don't know if he's going to be able to get that back in on Ruas.
Cutman Leon Tabs tries to clean away, and he has been given the green light to continue.
You ready? You ready? Get back in the
We saw that against Remco Pardue.
You ready? You ready?
Something was thrown in the ring into the octagon. I don't know if the fighters see it, but John McCarthy clears out one piece. And now we are back in action with 8:40 left. Referee is the authority to stop the fight with the advice of the ringside physician.
It's the first time we ever saw debris thrown into the octagon. That's very unfortunate. Two class athletes laying it on the line for this crowd. They really shouldn't be throwing stuff in there.
Now, as a striker, I can see right now that not only are these guys relatively open to the legs, they're very open to the body. But no one has gone to the body with a punch or a kick since I've been watching tonight. I'm not really sure why that is, but...
well, it's a lack of boxing skills, Don.
Well, not even boxing. I mean, you could throw a foot to the body, brings the hands down, you can land the punch to the face. But the fighters are not thinking in 2s and 3s. They're thinking in one move at a time, one punch, one strike.
And the beauty about going to the body is the accumulation of blows. If you can score off, it really works in a guy.
Absolutely. If you want to knock a guy out, you hit the body. You kill the body, the head will fall.
And again, the chess match. Ruas circling left. Taktarov circling with him.
Taktarov's waiting for that kick. Every time Marco picks up that right leg, Oleg is waiting for it.
Well, he's not properly blocking it. Because what he needs to do is lift his knee up and move forward inside Ruas. And then his knee will actually strike Ruas' thigh and cause him damage. That's how you stop the leg kick, not by just coming forward and absorbing it.
A little blood underneath the lip of Ruas. Not a bad cut. Taktarov much more bloody.
Come on, let's get it working. Come on.
At some point here, one of these two, we're going to have to ask ourselves who would be ahead by the judges, and the person that feels he isn't ahead is going to have to become a little bit more desperate in their aggressiveness.
Well, you know, I would say at this point, the strikes, it would be Ruas, the grappling. Believe it or not, I think Oleg, having that choke in as close as he did, would be ahead on the grappling end.
Taktarov trying to put together a 1-2.
Right, he faked a little left hook, came in with the right hand, and that's what these guys need to do. If you want to strike, you need to put some combinations together, not one punch at a time.
Oleg said, no, no. In the middle of this fierce battle, a cute little antidote.
It almost seems that Marco Ruas' disposition never changes. The expression on his face remains constant, never letting his opponent see whether or not he's hurt, anxious, or frustrated.
Come on, gentlemen, let's work. Let's go. Get it moving.
What are the judges thinking, guys, right now?
Well, this is a big mistake by Oleg to bend over and try to grab that leg after the fact. I mean, I've seen fighters do that a million times in kickboxing matches, and it always ends up bad. If Ruas has a roundhouse kick to the head, he could take Taktarov out right now. Fake to the leg, go right up to the head.
Oh, an exchange there.
And Oleg looking to counter with the right hand.
And here Oleg wants to be the puncher. He's given up on those leg shots, trying to take Ruas down. It doesn't seem that he wants to rush Marco and try to close the distance, thus to force a grappling game. It's very interesting here. Where is Oleg's tactic coming from? What is his strategy? It seems Ruas here just wants to sit, pick away.
Come on, Marco.
5 minutes, 10 seconds left in this 18-minute time limit. If we end up with no time on the clock, 3 judges render a decision. And the winner takes on Dan Severn for the ultimate title.
You know, it takes about 5 minutes to teach a fighter how to block a leg kick. And I can't understand why, after watching Ruas win with a leg kick, that Oleg had not prepared for it a little better. He has not blocked one properly yet. Actually, when a man goes to your leg, that's the time he should throw a punch, because Ruas will be on one foot, and at that point, they can't do anything. So if he throws up a kick, you block it, come in with a punch. That's what Oleg should be doing.
Ooh.
Come on, Marco.
They've been on their feet circling now for 3 or 4 minutes.
They seem at a loss as to how to really launch an effective offense from this position.
Jeff, does it behoove either fighter here to make a move based on where he thinks he might stand with the judges?
I think that's really right now where the fight stands, is how they interpret it and who's going to be desperate feeling they're behind.
How do you interpret it?
It's too close to call. I think the aggressiveness factor is the one thing we don't know. You have leg strikes and some punches from Ruas, but I really don't know. There's an attack now.
I say the aggressor is Oleg. And look, those leg kicks are counters to Oleg trying to corner Ruas.
And
I would give the aggressiveness to Oleg right now at this point.
And Oleg also had the choke move.
He had the choke. He had an effective grappling technique that the referee ended up breaking. In the old rules, that would not have happened.
I question how effective that choke was. It was not a choke. It was a hold close to a choke. So does that count as a choke? Ruas was never threatened. He breathed the whole time. He was in a guard position, which we've seen many times, and the guard is what determines whether or not there's no action.
And ground techniques are being judged on both defensive as well as offensive.
Right, you can't win a fight the way Ruas is fighting right now, just moving around, basically just avoiding a conflict. He's just avoiding the fight. He's not using techniques to set something up that could do damage. He's just countering with the leg kick and avoiding. Oleg had a shot for takedowns. He's come in with some big punches. Here he tries to get a very risky move, very risky. And look, Ruas still does not want to fight.
Who would have ever thought this fight would be on its feet for this long?
I'm really shocked.
The question will be, do the judges see Ruas as being the non-aggressor, and certainly whether or not that chokehold, which has really been the only ground attack that Ruas or Taktarov has had, as being effective?
Well, if nothing else, Jeff, it did have the potential for damage.
I agree.
Even though it was not locked in yet, but it looked like something might have happened.
A good leg kick by Ruas.
He set it up by faking the right hand, and when Taktarov backed his body away, went ahead, took the shot.
But look who brings the fight to who. Look who's bringing the fight.
Oleg
At this
now.
point, the aggressive, there's no doubt. Oleg is now chasing him.
He's shooting for takedowns. He's throwing left hooks. He's trying to fight. If Oleg started backing up the way Ruas is fighting, what would we be watching? Two men avoiding each other. I'm not a judge, but my unofficial, up to this point,
Oh, nice attempt.
my unofficial decision is it's Oleg's fight. I don't know what Ruas is thinking. I don't know what his strategy is at this point.
But he's not taking the fight to Oleg.
Absolutely.
A little over a minute to go.
If Oleg starts doing what he does, we're going to be having an audience fall asleep out here. Oleg has taken the fight. He's taken chances. He shot with a leg takedown. He was shot almost with a football takedown.
And as usual, he's bloody in the face area. Oleg.
Very dangerous move by Oleg, and Ruas still does not want to mix it up. He must have felt something on the inside there grappling that he didn't like.
Well, it's interesting. If a person wants to go to the ground and the other chooses not to, is that a sign of non-aggression? These are the questions that having judges will bring to bear.
Well, not if that person wants to stand up and strike, but Ruas isn't doing that either. If you don't want to go to the ground and grapple and you don't want to duke it out, what do you want to do out there?
Right hand by Oleg.
Well, I would say there are some strikes there. Taktarov's face bears that measure.
That's right. Taktarov is drenched his face in his own blood. Ruas's body drenched in his own sweat. Final seconds. It's over. And it will go to the judges.
The scar tissue on Taktarov, I think I could slap him in the face and cause him to bleed. I don't take that as damage.
He's been cut so many times before in the UFC. And so it will go to the judges for a second time tonight. Ernest Hart, John Little, Michael D. Pasquale Jr.
I'm not a judge, but you know what my opinion is. I've seen 1,000 fights.
We will wait for the official decision. The winner takes out Severin.
You can't win a fight. You don't want an ultimate champion who doesn't come to fight. You can't have that. And Oleg came to fight. And I did not see that tonight in Ruas.
There's Leon Tabbs, the well-known cut man who has worked for so many world champions. Leon does a marvelous job in the UFC, 30 years in the fight game from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and there is a unanimous call from the judges. Taktarov, Taktarov, Taktarov.
Oleg Taktarov.
It will be Taktarov against Severin in the final, and Oleg is in tears, I believe.